Hello and welcome back. I wanted to share a new journal with you today, but first I was online watching Tracy Fox, and she shared some really beautiful pieces that she had found online, and it inspired me to hop on, and I found a couple as well. This first one, Wildflowers of Britain Month by Month, Margaret Erskine Wilson. I don't know why there isn't one for the US, but boy, somebody should do it. This is gorgeous. It has multiple pages per month of these beautiful illustrations of wildflowers. Some of them are here in the US too. I imagine some of them were imported because they're gorgeous. And then there are some that you recognize as native to the US too, like, oh, that's monkshood. That was imported. Foxglove. So beautiful, beautiful pieces in here, and just, I mean, look at the number. The biggest problem I'm going to have is how do you decide to cover one side of these gorgeous illustrations? So, but you can see that there's a ton of material in here, so well worth the purchase price. And then the second one I got is Marjolaine Baston. She's a Hallmark card illustrator, artist, and this piece is just filled with gorgeous pieces as well. Now this has a little bit of coating, so it's a little bit glossy. This one, I believe, yeah, this is matte finish, which is wonderful. But not high gloss on here. It's kind of a low gloss coating. But the illustrations, again, are just gorgeous. So, again, I don't know how I'm going to cover one side of these. I'm going to have to figure out multiple ways to include these without covering it. So, a lot of hinging, I guess. But so those are two that I wanted to let you know about in case you're out there searching for sources. I mean, you know, it's a little bit more than buying something for $1 at a thrift store, but the volume of illustrations that are there to use, I think, well worth it. So keeping with that nature theme, here is the journal that I call Secret Forest. And this is kind of an ode to my childhood because I grew up spending a lot of time in the woods, and we built cabins in the woods, and I spent a lot of individual time in the woods, so I wanted to do something that would be kind of a tribute to that and its importance in my life. So a fairly unembellished cover. I have some vintage lace here, and then a vintage reproduction material on the binding. And it's a chunky book. 4 signatures, but there's a lot of pages in here. So I think about 140. So, and the theme of this book is kind of why I put this here. It's wonder often, wander always. So that's kind of my sense of things of being in nature and spending time in nature. So a lot of different kinds of papers in here. There's illustrations, the antique dictionary, little surprises. When I was in the woods, I loved observing tiny things like tiny wildflowers and tiny bugs. So I became kind of fascinated with little tiny things like this. So there's a little bitty envelope and a little bitty booklet. So for writing secrets or observations or whatever you please, whatever you want. So, and there's parchment. There's some stamping throughout, some sewing throughout, not a lot. Here's a tuck, and there's a story that goes with this little boreal owl. I wanted to include things in here that you would see out in the woods. So basically as if you would find things to illustrate the things that you had observed. And boreal owls don't, I think that's how you say it. They don't live in this area. I'm in Pennsylvania. And one night we were out at a fire in the yard with a friend who was visiting, and we kept hearing this really odd owl call. We knew it was an owl, but we had never heard it before. So we came in and we researched it, and here it turned out that it was a boreal owl, which doesn't come this far south at all. So I think it was far south. I think they're a northern owl. In any case, that's a tribute to this little guy that for some reason ventured down to Pennsylvania. And there's a little little tag here with that little bee on the back. Let me see. And then I kept these. This is just so gorgeous, isn't it? It just reminds me of those magical times when there's a little fog in the woods. And I kept these spreads because they're just breathtaking. And there's some little tags on little embellished paper clips throughout. Just beautiful little woodland, magical woodland scenes. And then my dear friend and wonderful artist, Sandra SanTara, and sent me some pieces that I could use. And these are her offcuts, I think. And it's so beautiful. I just wanted to leave it in here as a bookmark. And then there's a couple botanical pieces in this tuck here. Thank you, Sandra. Lots of coffee dyed paper. There's a raven. And here's another tuck spot with this really odd old illustration of a bear. That is one strange looking bear. So, and then there's some cards. This reminded me of the cards I used to get in the Sugar Daddy candy bars. They used to always have a little narrow card with an animal on it. Oh geez, I wish I still had those. And some other cards. And then another gorgeous bookmark from a piece that Sandra did. I had to kind of balance off that strange looking bear with a beautiful bear. So, so there he is. I just left him intact. There's a few tabs here. Some cloth, some lace, some paper. Mushrooms. An oak tree. I love oak trees. Paper. Here's another one of those beautiful spreads that I just left as. I can't remember the name of this. Something woodland set. It was just stunning. And here's a tag to write on and a beautiful old illustration from a children's book of a frog and dandelion and flies. And here's a double tuck spot here with fern and Solomon's seal, another beautiful native plant here. And another gorgeous woodland scene. There's a little tiny file folder and some little tags in there. I love those little things. I think they're cute. I have fun making those from scraps. And more stamping and a little bit of collaging on this. I love making lists. I'm a compulsive list maker, probably because I have a terrible memory. And there's a wren nesting in the eaves of the little smokehouse outside my house. So, little house wren. Another tab. I love this wonderful crunchy paper. And some poppy seed heads. And did you have the cicadas? They're around here. Not so much in my area as nearby, but some of my friends said they were so loud they were deafening, so I had to include a cicada in there. Music paper. There's another one of these beautiful pieces with a shaped paper clip for you. And a little collage with an old illustration of a tree and some sari silk and a bee. Of course, you have to have a bee. We wouldn't have our beautiful woodland flowers if we didn't have the bees, right? So there we go. And another tuck spot that you can tuck here or here with a library card piece. And another tuck spot, unoccupied, available. And cool piece here. I love these folders. I just love those listy kind of things with the eggs on it sewn. And then the this has a dragonfly charm on it. I don't know if you can see that. So lots of room in this clip for, and I'm using that as a tab by sticking it out at the end. Lots of room in that clip for more material. And parchment. And that's it. I left this without a tuck spot because I love this illustration, but you can do with it as you will. And so that is Secret Forest. Lots of room to expand on this one. It's kind of chunky, but you can see there's room in there to expand and embellish any way you please. So that's it. And thank you for watching. I sure appreciate it. And I appreciate your comments. Thank you so much. And I'm going to start including some of my own picks for videos of the week because I go back over older videos and I found some really great ones from some incredibly creative people. So look for that next time. And in the meantime, have a bright, sunny, creative day, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.